Hello, welcome to the Tryline Podcast. I'm finally over the Cowboys' loss on the weekend. I told you I go on a roller coaster. I'm back.
Yep.
I'm high energy again. I'm keen for the weekend. I'm your host, Bo. This is my co-host, Denny.
Hey mate, how you going?
Yeah, I'm good. It was a lonely day yesterday, just sitting there thinking about the Cowboys, thinking about where we're at. But I'm back, high energy again, ready to go. And we have a new rule. We have a new rule in the NRL. The 18th man, it's been approved. I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Just before we get into it, I'll just explain kind of what it's about. Now, there will be an 18th man for HIA purposes only, and 3 people will have to be considered no longer to be able to play due to a HIA for them to utilise the 18th man.
Yep.
That probably stops a little bit of the rotting of the system. That's what I was worried about most. Teams just taking advantage of it too much. To lose 3 players, you're in a bit of a dire straits there, so it's good to have a player come on. But what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a good rule.
Yeah, I think it's good, but I thought the foul play angle would have been a little bit better. I think if a player got taken out due to foul play, similar to the Ryan Madison incident,
yep,
that's where I'd like to see it used.
Yeah,
but I think if you decide that you're going to use it, the player that you're saying cannot continue should have to sit for the next game, and then that would have stopped the rotting.
Yeah,
this is the way they've gone to try and stop that, made it 3 players to be ruled out.
Yeah,
I don't mind it. Coaches will try and find a way around it. That's their job. That's what they always do. But
yeah,
I don't like you. We spoke about it before. I don't see a lot of benefit to ruling out 3 players just to bring in 1.
Yeah, well, you've seen before. Teams usually rest those players that get head knocks.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be resting, 3 players just to have 1 player come in?
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah. I don't think it's really worth it. So I like it in that way.
In theory, it sounds good. The NRL did say that they think that NRL teams are taking a more conservative approach to HIAs, like erring on the side of caution, which is always good. We need to be serious about head knocks in our game.
Yeah,
we've seen everything with CTE nowadays. As per usual, we put it out to the Instagram peoples. Followers, yes.
The Instagram people.
And what come back on that end, Jakey Boy. Now, I'm very sorry, I've missed his question almost 2 weeks in a row. He asks us a question, and I say I'm going to put it on, and I forget. So here's your question, mate. Top 3 wingers in the NRL at the moment.
Yeah, we actually spoke about this before. Pardon me, and we decided to go top 5 instead.
Yeah.
So this is our top 5 in no particular order. We've got Josh Addo-Carr, Brian Toto, David North-Luma, Alex Johnson, and Brett Morris.
Yeah, there was just a couple in there that we couldn't really split.
Yeah.
Like Josh Addo-Carr and Brian Toho, they were always going to be in there.
Yeah.
And then there was a couple on the fringe. I didn't really want to leave Brett Morris out. Yeah. I think you spoke a lot about David North-Luma in there, and Alex Johnson. I think he was great last year. So there's the top 5, mate. I think I left out the start of your name. I'll have to put it in the comments. But Daily M favourites. What are the odds Latrell wins? Now, I'll give you the list of where they're at right now. I think Latrell can win it. I think he's been great. I think he's one of, if not the form player in the competition, he's definitely one of the form players in the competition.
100%.
At the moment, the top 5 is Latrell, Brett Morris, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, Reid Mahoney, who's been outstanding, Ben Hunt, and then Tino Fasuamalawi, Cody Nikorima, Dave Fafita. They're all on 5 points.
Oh, okay. Wow. I don't think Brett Morris will be there for much longer.
No, well, he had 2 hat-tricks, 6 points. That's probably why he's up there.
So he'll probably drop off. I do like Latrell's chances. I think they're pretty high. I think other top contenders for that Dalian medal, I think Clint Gutherson, sorry.
Yep.
If Reid Marnie keeps on playing the way he does, mate, he's in there for a chance.
I'm telling you right now, Clint Gutherson's been gypped a little bit. He's on 3 points.
Only on 3 points.
Mate,
didn't he get no points for the Melbourne game?
Yeah, I think so.
That's a raw.
Reid Mahoney's having a really good start to the year. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, I think anytime the Warriors win, he's going to be in and around the points.
Yeah.
So I think he'll go deep. Latrell, if he can stay fit, he'll be there. David Fafita's an interesting one on 5 points. Only one forward's won it in the last 30 years, and he's right up in the points. He was outstanding on the weekend.
Yeah.
So they're probably our picks, but yeah, Latrell's definitely in the conversation. Talking about a conversation, Jamie Stephenson, wants to know, can the Eels go all the way?
Oh,
Now, I know it's a sore spot for you. What, they haven't won since 86, is that right? Something like that?
mate, it's before my time. I think they can go all the way this year. They've got a good team, nice core, good spine, probably one of the best in the comp.
Yeah. Definitely one of the most settled in the comp.
Yeah, 100%. They've been together for a little while now, a few years.
Yep.
They've been getting better each year, I think. Maybe this year is the year, but I don't want to get ahead of myself and start celebrating now, saying we're gonna win it all. But
I like their forward pack. I really, really like their forward pack. I think Regan Campbell-Gillard and Junior Paulo are very good. Regan Campbell-Gillard really developed last year. I thought he probably had a little bit of soft spot early in the year, but then he really got into his work. I love their edge-back rowers, Sean Lane, Ryan Madison. I think they're great.
Yeah.
Isaiah Papali'i, I was going to talk about it in the Eels review. I think him going back to the bench adds a bit of a punch there on the bench for him. I think they can go all the way. I think there's some pretty stiff competition up there, but I think they'll be in the conversation. Now, another team that I don't think is going to be in the conversation, a lot of people are talking about them. They've won 2 in a row, the Dragons. Now, Ben Hunt's out. Brandon03 wants to know, can the Dragons win any of the next 6 games? They have the Knights, Eels, Warriors, Roosters, West Tigers, and then the Bulldogs.
I don't know, mate. That's a pretty tough run. The only game that I can see him winning is maybe the Bulldogs.
I can't see him winning this week. I think the Eels will take care of them. The Warriors are a pretty good side right now. That'd be an alright game. The Roosters will probably have a couple of troops back by then. The West Tigers, they could be anything. They're talk about rocks or diamonds. The West Tigers are dead set rocks or diamonds. And then the Bulldogs, well, we don't know where they're going to be out by then. So, short answer, I don't know. But they're in for a big 6 weeks without Ben Hunt.
Yeah.
I think they're looking okay too.
Tough 6 weeks.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the games.
Alrighty, so Thursday night we've got Manly versus Penrith. So there's been a few changes here. Dylan Edwards is out with a broken hand, so Stephen Crichton's filling in at fullback for him, with Matt Burton going into the centres, and Nathan Cleary makes his return after he missed out against Melbourne last week. There's not many changes for Manly though. I'll be taking the Panthers on this one.
Yeah, I'll be taking the Panthers too. I thought they would have went Crichton into fullback last week when Dylan Edwards got injured throughout the game.
Yeah.
Manly, Tom should be back next week. They're also missing Sirenen for a few weeks. They're in all sorts, Manly.
Yeah, I know. Well, even when Turbo does get back, I don't think he'll make much of a difference.
Definitely not against the Panthers.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know what's going to say about Manly. They're just...
I literally have no idea what's going on. I had them as a smoky to make the 8. I think there's no desperation there. They just re-signed Dez. I think in 2 games they've been terrible. In the Eels game, we saw a little bit of fight from them. They don't have that bad a side. I don't know. I can't see them winning here. I think they're going to heap a lot of pain on them, the Panthers.
Yeah, me too.
I like Crichton to fullback. Really like Crichton to fullback.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've seen him play fullback.
I think when he first come into the league, I think he debuted at fullback.
Really?
I just remember him playing fullback one night in Penrith Stadium.
Well,
but he's fast, he's thick, he's good on his feet. I think if they get him some early ball, he could do some damage.
Well, Dylan Edwards is out for at least a month, so
is he one of the most underrated fullbacks? I think he's been great.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I think he's been absolutely outstanding in the last 12 months, something like that.
Yeah, he's really good. Anyway, on to Friday night, we got the Dogs versus the Bunnies. So Jerry Marshall-King, Doggies hooker, he'll miss 6 to 8 weeks with a foot injury. Sione Katoa will start in place of him. Nick Meaney and Corey Allen have swapped position, and Lachlan Lewis.
They wish it was Luke Lewis.
Yeah, he gets the night 6 over Avarillo. And Josh Jackson, he's been suspended for a crush tackle last week. Yeah,
huge loss for the Bulldogs. Josh Jackson.
He's been massive in the middle over the past few weeks.
Yeah, and I think he's been massive for years.
Yeah,
he's so good.
He's all effort.
Now, last year, a lot of people remember the Rabbitohs smashed the Roosters 60 to 8 or something.
Yep.
The week before that, the Bulldogs snapped a 7-game losing streak by beating the Rabbitohs, and it come out of nowhere. Everyone was thinking the Bunnies by 1,000.
Yeah.
You know how the Bulldogs done it? They done it just by letting the Rabbitohs beat themselves. They completed at a high percentage. They knew that if they didn't give the Rabbitohs a chance, then they, like last year, they beat themselves a lot of times, the Bunnies.
Yeah.
So they completed 92%. South end up beating themselves. So there is a path to victory for the Bulldogs if they can complete. I've got South. I think South will beat them, obviously. But I'm just saying, for some Bulldogs fans out there is some hope in this game.
I don't think there's any hope. I think there's no hope. I think the Bunnies will win in a blowout.
Can you respect the stats? Can you respect the research, though?
I can respect the stats and the research, but, mate, New Year.
Yeah. Well, I think the Rabbitohs are winning, but there's hope. No, okay.
Anyway, on to the next. Storm versus Broncos. So there's a few big ins for the Broncos here. Payne Haas and Matt Lodge, both back. They're both starting. So that pushes Tavita Pangai Jr. back to the bench.
How big is their 4-pack?
That's awesome. Really, really good.
Pappenhausen's back for the Storm as well. Big in for him. Brendan Smith has a shoulder injury, but he's meant to play, I think. Yeah. Just on the Broncos 4-pack, Matt Lodge, Payne Haas, Alex Glenn, Jordan Ricky, Pat Carrigan, and then on the bench you got Pangai Jr., Ben Teo, Thomas Flegler, who I really like, and John Asiata. This is a great forward pack. Can they beat the Storm? No. No. Especially the Storm coming off back-to-back losses. For me, they've been really impressive this year.
The Storm?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they have been. They've lost in 2 games that could have gone either way.
They probably should have won one. They probably should have beat Penrith.
Yep.
And they could have beat Para. I thought they've been great. They've probably lost the best player to ever play. Definitely the best hooker to ever play.
Yeah.
And they've been right in every single contest. And they've had such a tough 3 weeks.
They have.
They had South, Para, and Penrith. 3 of the teams that I think will be in the top 4 at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So people thinking that they're not going too well, they're going great. I think they'll bounce back here and beat the Broncos comfortably.
Yeah, me too.
But Broncos are getting a 20-point head start. Get on that, guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
100%. Anyway, on to Saturday. We got the Sharks versus the Cowboys. So Britton Nakori's been suspended for 2 weeks for his shoulder charge last week. So Teague Wilton's going to start in his place. With the Cowboys, Jake Clifford and Esau Masters both been dropped. Yep. So Ben Hampton's set to partner Drinkwater in the halves. Cohen has been moved to the back row, and Mitch Dunn's out with an injury. So they've got an all-new look back row with Sean Wright and Ben Condon.
Yep. So, Cowboys by 20, I reckon, at least. Cowboys by 20 odd.
I've tipped the Cowboys.
You've tipped the Cowboys?
I've tipped the Cowboys. I reckon they'll get it done. Because you saw Josh Maguire's
that was interview? The best part of last week's
game. Good, yeah.
I thought that was excellent.
Yeah.
I've got I haven't tipped the Cowboys, but I do like kind of what they're doing. And they've put some notice on some players. I don't think Jake Clifford's been terrible, but his last play options have been horrible.
Yeah.
They've moved him on. Esau Masters, safe to say he's not done a lot since he's arrived at North Queensland.
Yep.
We talked about Cohen Hess last week. He probably got the brunt of our frustrations, which is probably not fair, but he copped a lot from us last week. He's been moved to the bench.
I think I was a little bit more invested in Cohen Hess because I had him on Dream Team and he was not performing. So
it's all justified. He'd probably say himself he hasn't been the best.
Yeah.
Now the last time the Cowboys lost 3 in a row, we went on and won the comp. So that's a stat for you.
That won't be happening this year.
I think we had Jonathan Thurston. I think we went on and beat the Storm the next week and then won 11 in a row, something like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I can't say I'm winning, but I don't really care if they win or not. I just want to see some effort. And if we get some effort, then maybe we can turn some things around there. But I like that Todd Payton's put some players on notice and made them have to earn that jersey. And the Cowboys by... did I say 20? 50. Cowboys by 50.
Cowboys by 50?
At least.
Well, I think Josh Maguire's going to have a big game.
Yeah, huge game.
And he's starting at lock this week. I just think they're due for a win. They need a win.
I'll tell you what, if Jordan McLean takes a hit up off the ruck on 4th tackle, I'll run to the Opera House this weekend.
Mate, that's Reece Robson's fault, mate.
I'll walk straight out of the house and I'll run to the Opera House.
I'll hold you
immediately.
To it.
Yep, done.
Okay, anyway, on to the Titans versus the Raiders. So Curtis Scott, Joe Tarpany, they were both missed out due to injury. So Sebastian Chris comes back into the team, and Ryan Sutton, he's moved to starting lock. And for the Titans, same team, 1-17.
1-17. I think this is a game of the round. I think the first few games are pretty stock standard. I'm really excited for this game. I've got the Raiders bouncing back and beating the Titans.
Me too. I think they'll be a little bit disappointed in last week's performance, how they let that big lead go.
I think they were unlucky last week too because they lost a lot of players. I think the Titans haven't been their best version of themselves. They put 44 points on the weekend, but they didn't have a lot of resistance there. I think they'll miss Ash Taylor more this week than they did last week.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how many people are allowed to go there because of the lockdown either, so I don't know what kind of crowd they're going to get out there. But I just have the Raiders bouncing back.
Is it at Canberra?
No, it's in Seabus Super Stadium.
Oh, that's right. I thought it was last week. Sorry, I thought they were playing the Warriors.
Yeah, but I got the Raiders, and I think it'll be a good game though.
Yeah, no, should be a good game. Alrighty, on to Sunday. We've got the Knights versus the Dragons. So a couple of changes for the Knights, sorry. Stafford Toas, he's back in the squad. Dominic Young misses out. Somehow, what's his name? Shibasaki keeps his spot somehow. I don't know. He must have prayed to the football gods.
At least he's not on the wing.
Yeah. He's back. Blake Green's also back for Newcastle. He's in the 17 jersey on the bench.
Yeah.
And for the Dragons, Bennett, he's obviously out for a few weeks, six to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So Adam Clune's taken his spot. And Braden Williami comes in for a suspended Jack Bird.
People were talking Clune or Sullivan. I thought it was always going to be Clune. They showed their hand earlier in the year there. Shibasaki, he probably saw the team list on Tuesday and was stoked he's not on the wing.
Yeah.
No more high balls for him. I think he's been okay in the centres. He was all right in the centres last year, so he'll go okay. I got the Knights bouncing back. They were really poor last week. If they're going to be a serious contender this year, they won't be losing 2 in a row, especially to teams that I don't think will make the 8. So
yeah,
they got to bounce back here. Sunday, McDonald Jones Stadium. I think they'll get a big crowd up there. Mm-hmm. Sunday afternoon football, long weekend.
Huge crowd.
I'm 20,000 plus up there on the weekend,
sure.
I reckon.
I'm going to take the Knights as well, although the right edge defence last week was atrocious. And if the Dragons watched any
film,
yeah, did they do that?
Yeah, they did.
They watch film. They'd see that, and I think that's where they'll be going.
That try off the scrum last week was atrocious. That was just a 4-on-3 off the scrum.
Yeah,
like you can't be letting that happen.
Yeah, woeful. They got to fix some stuff up there.
With Ben Hunt, I thought this game would have been a lot closer.
I think the Dragons might have won.
Yeah,
and I did have them to get the spoon at the start of the year, but I mean they haven't been playing too bad, and there's been a few teams that have been playing a lot worse than them.
They do have a history of starting okay though, the Dragons.
Yeah, they do,
and then falling off. And Anthony Griffin is known to have his team fit for the start of the year, so maybe they're just outlasting a lot of teams at the moment, and teams will catch up to them. I got the Knights here, massive crowd. It'll be good to see.
Yeah, real good. Anyway, we've got the Roosters versus the Warriors in the next game. Victor the Inflictor.
I'm so excited he's back.
He's back, starting at lock with Isaac Liu, yeah. He's moving to prop.
Yep.
Sam Walker and Drew Hutchinson, we talked about this earlier. They've made the halves pairing.
Yeah.
No Suwali either. He's been named in the extended bench, I think, or reserves, or whatever.
I think we did say that they would name a huge squad and just keep us guessing. And what do they name? Like 20? There's 21. And Suwali's in the 20. I think things could change. Like they got Ikavalu in the 14.
In the bench,
I don't know if that's going to stay like that. So I think they'll keep us guessing right until kickoff. I said last week my most confident tip of the week is the Roosters to beat the Rabbits. That blew up in my face. The Roosters were terrible in the first half. I'll cop the L there. My most confident tip this week is the Warriors to beat the Roosters. How about that? The Warriors as outsiders to come beat the Roosters at $2.70. I got the Warriors getting it done here.
No, mate, I'll take the Roosters in this one. I think the Warriors will put up, good fight.
Yep.
I just think the Roosters just be too good for them.
I think they're missing too much. And so they got no leadership again. They got no Jake Friend. They got no Boy Cordner. Now they got no Luke Keary. They got to be 3 of their most capped players in their side. Like, they're up there. Well, you got the Morris twins, but I mean, they're leaders. Their leaders are out.
Victor the Inflictor's back. Did you not hear?
Yeah.
He's back.
He'll snap people in half too. I love watching him play. They've got a young halves pairing. I think they'll take some time to get accustomed.
Yeah.
I'm keen to see how Sam Walker goes. There's massive raps on him. I hope he does well. I'm going the Warriors. I'm sorry.
No.
Warriors all day.
No. Roosters, mate.
We've got a couple of different tips this week. That's good.
Yeah, it's always good.
Danger game coming. Danger game
the
looming
last
here.
game of the round, Monday night. We got the Tigers versus the Eels. Tigers are unchanged. Para's only got the one change, with Ryan Madison making his way back after missing a week due to his head knock.
Danger.
And Isaiah Papali'i moves back to the bench.
Danger.
So, yeah, I think this is a danger game for Para. You've got to think about it. They were getting beaten by 16 against the Broncos.
Yeah.
Then they ran out of a bench.
I know.
Then there was a tight game with the Sharks, and they were only just ahead. What was it, 10-6 half time or something?
Then they ran out of troops.
And then they ran out of subs. The only team that we beat that we looked good against was Melbourne, but Justin Olam kicked on second tackle. So
I was going to point this out too. They haven't been outstanding.
No.
They've gotten through games, which is what they have to do early in the year. Like, they just have to win. The Tigers looked good last week. They sorted their kicking game. I thought Dewey was very good. Laurie's been good pretty much every week.
Yep.
Massive danger game here. It'll be a dry track Monday afternoon. Oh, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't want to tip against the Eels. The Eels is the safe bet here.
What's the line? Do you know?
Oh, I don't know. I'll have a look. What are you thinking? Where's your head at here?
I'll be tipping Para, but I can see the Tigers winning.
Yeah, I can really see the Tigers winning, but every time I get sucked in by the Tigers. I see like them play okay footy, and I'm like, you know what, the Tigers. I'll get on the Tigers, and then they come out and they don't play well. The line's plus 10 to the Tigers. That's easy money.
You take the Tigers at the line, surely.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Eels, but I think it'll be very close. I think it'll be closer than what people think it will be. The Tigers are $3.50. That's juicy as.
The Titans.
The Tigers are $3.50.
Mate, I do think it hurts. It hurts to say,
and because they haven't been outstanding, the Eels.
Yeah,
and they might even be due for a little loss, just jolt them back into some form.
Yeah,
they do have a very good run over the next month to the Eels. I think they could probably go to 7-0 if they're consistent.
Oh mate, I hope so. I hope you're right. We'd love to see it.
I did say in my predictions that I thought they would be up the top of the ladder come mid-season. I did think they would start very fast. Massive matchup this week. Be a lot of points in this one, I think. If the Eels can hold the ball, if the Tigers can hold the ball and cut their penalties out, they'll be right in this game. The only reason I tipped the Eels is because I think the Tigers will make some dumb errors, and I think the Eels will be good enough to take advantage of that and score some points.
Mate, I hope so.
All right, everyone, enjoy the weekend. We've given you our tips. Follow them blindly, and you'll do well. We'll be back Monday to review the whole round and eat our words.
Yeah.
Enjoy your week.